This episode of Inside Louisiana Athletics is brought to you by Park Place Surgical Hospital. Hi, I'm Marcel Johnson. Tonight on Inside Louisiana Athletics, it was a tough weekend for our Diamond Sports as our Darren Walker sits down with head coach Jerry Glasgow to discuss their top 25 matchup and their upcoming Sun Belt series against Coastal Carolina. But first, head coach Matt Deggs is here to discuss their road trip to Little Rock and look to bounce back against another Sun Belt foe in Texas State. You're watching Inside Louisiana Athletics.
Hello and welcome to Inside Louisiana Athletics, a 2-2 week for the Ragin Cajuns baseball team as they knock off McNeese midweek, but drop 2 of 3 to Little Rock in Arkansas. Here now to take us through the week is the head coach, Matt Deggs. So we'll get to McNeese in just a second, but let's talk about the Trojans for a second. Just kind of a gritty team that just finds a way to get things done, and especially when you're playing at their place.
They are. They're very tough at their place, Darren, and like you said, they've got a good team. They are well coached, and they've got some good arms over there, and they swing the bat a little bit. It's a tough venue, and I think they had won 11 in a row or something with us coming in there. So we knew we had our work cut out for us.
Let's start go back to the beginning where you started the week at home against McNeese. A big night at the plate for Josh Cofield. He knocks in 2 of your 4 runs, including a solo homer. That was his first as a Ragin Cajun. Drake Osborne with an RBI double to put you up 4-3, and then the bullpen really just took care of the rest.
Yeah, they did. It was a huge response game for us coming off really a tough stretch. And we got off to not so good a start there in the 3rd inning, had 3 or 4 errors, and could have sank right there, but we didn't. Showed a lot of character, a lot of fight, and battled our way back into it, found a way to take the lead. Austin Perrin gave us a great start, and like you said, the bullpen took over from there. I thought they were outstanding on Tuesday night.
Now to Little Rock, game 1 Friday afternoon. First inning, Brett Bergogno with a solo homer in the 3rd, and that gets you a 1-0 lead. Little Rock would take the lead back, though, in the 4th, 2-1. But then in the 6th, things really start to go south. The Trojans played 4 to go up 6-1, and I guess the frustrating part is that, they weren't crushing home runs, they weren't hitting for extra bases, but, you had a couple of instances where guy drives the ball into the ground just in front of home plate, and it goes all the way over Fitzy's head at 3rd base. And that's how they got the job done. It
is, and that's baseball for you. You never know. And anybody can beat anybody on any given day, and it seemed like every time they hit the baseball, it found a hole. And we hit a lot of balls hard, probably out-hit them as far as finding barrels, and found a glove just about every time. And got beat, and that happens sometimes. I would say that's probably one of 2 or 3 games where I can say we got beat. And we had our chance to drive in some runs and never got it done, and they came out on top on Friday.
Yeah, they take game 1 8-2. In game 2, the Trojans get out ahead to a 2-0 lead in the 2nd. But other than that, Connor Cook was just terrific that day. 7 strikeouts, only allowed 1 more hit the rest of the way after you took him out in the 7th.
Yeah, probably as good as I've seen him as far as stuff goes. He was just electric all night, had a great fastball, had some run on his 2-seam, and then the slider showed up on Saturday night, and it was a devastating pitch for him. Had 1 blemish, and that was a 2-run home run. Overcame that, never looked back, and gave us a chance. And Talley comes in behind him and punches out both their lefties on 6 pitches, which was a tremendous job. He's done that all year. And then we find a way to finally take the lead and get into extra innings and have a chance to finish it, and just got to make 1 more play.
Right. You threatened in the 6th and the 7th with a man on 3rd, just couldn't get him home, but in the 8th, the bases were loaded for Brennan Breaux. It was his 101st hit as a Ragin Cajun, and he tied the game at 2 apiece at that point.
Yeah, Brennan's been a good player here for years, and he was a guy, I know it was a left-on-left matchup. We wanted up in that spot, felt good about him, and he was able to find a barrel, find a hole.
It's funny, he's kind of like the old guy on the team,
yeah,
isn't he?
24, 25 years old.
You go to extra innings, like you mentioned, top of the 10th. It's Breaux again, and he executes the squeeze bunt. Went right back to the pitcher, but he couldn't make a play on the ball, and so the go-ahead run scores to put you up in the top of the 10th. In the bottom of the 10th, it went strikeout, walk. That put 2 runners on with 2 outs. So you needed to get that one last out. And again, it's one of these ball gets hit to third base, kind of a slow chopping roller, however you want to call it. The throw gets wide on first base, 2 runs come in to score. And obviously a gut-wrenching way to lose that game.
It was. It was heartbreaking to say the least. You know, it was unfortunate going back to the squeeze by Brennan. There's a runner on second as well. It's actually a double squeeze. It's unfortunate he dropped the baseball, the pitcher. It actually worked to their benefit because if he picks it up, he's going to throw to first and we're going to score 2 runs. Wind up only getting 1 as we, have a chance for a sac fly, get thrown out at home.
Right.
And then, like you said, Schultz had thrown great, go to Blake Marshall to face the lefty, just blows him away. And so really want to get a 2 for 3 right there. With the lefty, they got 1 righty, and then they've got a switch hitter hitting 150, and we walked the righty. And so at that juncture, it's time to go to Nelly out of the bullpen and like you said, get a punch out and then another walk. But we execute a pitch, blow the kid up on his hands at 93, 94, and we filled the ball. And it is a wide throw. It's a play I think if he asked Ben that we're probably going to come up with, get caught out stretching a little too soon. And so it's not a great play on both ends. And that didn't cost us the game. We had plenty of opportunities.
Right.
I never believe that it comes down to an umpire or one play. And so it was great to see the kids respond the next day.
Certainly did. Game 3, let's get to the 6th inning. It was already 4-2 Little Rock, but Connor Kimple gets an RBI triple. It was his 2nd RBI of the day. And then in the 7th, you get back-to-back doubles from Roccaforte, Osborne, and Fitzgerald. 14 hits on the day, and a bunch of those were for extra bases.
Yeah, a lot of extra base hits. Great approach at the plate all day long. We had run through just about all their pitching, so they were having to recycle and bring guys back. Rocco had a great day off the bench. Obviously, Benny had a great day, and I thought Carter gave us a good start, and the bullpen threw great again.
9th inning, Drake Osborne with an RBI, Ben Fitzgerald with a home run to add 2 more, and you win it 7-4. And like you said, the bullpen, they covered 5 innings, give up no runs, 5 strikeouts, and Tally was huge down the stretch.
Yeah, he was. What started as a matchup appearance, quickly turned into a save opportunity for him. So decided to go ahead and stay with him. His workload hasn't been enormous as of late, and like you said, he got the job done.
Let's talk about this weekend, another big conference series for you. Texas State comes to Russo. The Bobcats were the preseason pick to win the Sun Belt West Division, but they find themselves behind you in the standings. So obviously a lot to play for as, everybody's kind of seeing that stretch run come and everybody's trying to position themselves for the conference tournament.
No doubt about it. And, I'm sure they're disappointed with the way things have gone. They had a lot of expectation going into it. But like everybody right now, and especially at our level, it's somewhat of a staging process right now, and who can get hot because history's chock full of teams that have gotten hot coming into this time of year and rode that momentum for a long time.
Right, you mentioned that in post-game, I think it was yesterday after the Game 3, you talked about how every year there's a team or two who just starts to find things out, figure things out as you get to this part of the season.
Well, school lets out, so you lose that burden of the class load and homework and test, and the weather heats up and you're playing for something every night. Right. And a lot of teams sometimes rise to that occasion.
All right, Coach, best of luck this weekend. As we always, thank you for the time. The Ragin Cajuns will host Texas State this weekend at Russo on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Louisiana threatening, and this one driven out deep to left field. That one's going to be off of the wall, and Louisiana will take a 5-4 lead. 3 straight doubles for the Ragin Cajuns, and that ball was absolutely tattooed by Ben Fitzgerald. And just like that, Louisiana out in front 5-4.
Next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, Darren Walker sits down with head coach Jerry Glasgow to discuss their top 25 matchup in their upcoming Sun Belt Series against Coastal Carolina.
This has got the steak and the sizzle.
The tots on this are just crispy and they're flavorful.
This will keep you out of my tots.
Sonic Extra Long Ultimate Cheesesteaks. Yeah, this might keep me out of your tots.
health and safety of our students is our main concern. That is why the Office of University Housing and Residential Life has developed new protocols and procedures to strengthen our efforts to protect you during this pandemic. Housing staff is trained and ready to carry out safety protocols and guidelines set by local and national health authorities. All common areas will be cleaned and sanitized often, and no more than 2 residents will share a bedroom and bathroom. These are just a few of the safety measures we are implementing to ensure that our priority is you.
We all have dreams.
I want to dance. I like to build things. I want to explore.
For over 120 years, the University of Louisiana at Lafayette has made it possible for young dreams to become realities. So go ahead, dream big. We'll help you make those dreams come true.
How is yours? Because you got the spicy cheesesteak.
A little fire.
A little fire.
And desire.
Oh, I don't know about all that. Sonic Extra Long Ultimate Cheesesteaks. You're taking it too far. I know it's date day and all.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. A huge non-conference series this weekend for Ragin Cajuns softball as they headed to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to face the number 5 Crimson Tide. Here now to take us through the weekend is head coach Jerry Glasgow. So you dropped both games 5-3, 5-1, but I don't think there's any question that your team competed. And let's face it, if you get a timely hit here or there, or maybe play a little bit better defense on a play or two, things could be much different.
Yeah, we had chances Saturday to score a few more runs, which I thought was good because Coach Montana Fouts is one of the top pitchers in the country. But Alabama's a great team, a great program, well coached, and they just took both games. I mean, they taught us some things about ourselves. The games and the competition was at a high level. I thought they played defense extremely well, and they've been challenged with injuries, but they played right through those injuries really well. And I think we learned some things running the bases that will help us. I think we learned some things as as hitters that we can use in our approach to make it to be more effective in the postseason. And I thought our pitchers learned. I thought our pitchers did very well, but just that much, just a little bit, and we could have really had both those games really low scoring. And that's what we want to try to do in the postseason. Our hope is to have low scoring games.
Let's go ahead and take you to Tuscaloosa. 2 All-American pitchers going head-to-head. Summer Ellison, and you mentioned Montana Fouts. Not the start you were looking for. Bama in the first with an RBI double and then a 3-run home run on a ball that, coming off the bat, kind of looked like it was going to be a fly out, but it just kept carrying and winds up going over the fence. Summer was phenomenal after the first inning, but like you just said, you make a couple of mistakes, you leave a couple over the plate, and they're going to make you pay.
Well, she got to count 2-0 on the 4-hole, and our game plan was to go outside. Well, we missed twice out, and we come in. She got a good hit. She hit it oppo. You look at the film, it's probably a little bit more down the middle than we need, but on the other hand, you don't want to go 3-0 in that spot. And then Kilfoyle hit the home run, his first home run of the year. She just got a hold of it, and it wasn't that bad a pitch. You look at the film, it's not that bad a pitch. She just made a good swing on it. But all things that we can learn, like it exploits in your mind how important each individual pitch is. And I called time when that happened. We went out and we talked to someone and said, hey, every pitch, put emphasis on it, on location. And she was outstanding after that. I thought a response to that, because once a team gets that 4-run momentum, it's really hard to shut them down. And she was excellent. Would come out, 7 strikeouts and really pitched a very, very good game, I thought, from that point forward.
Yeah, she only gave up 2 more Alabama hits the rest of the way. And like you said, strikes out 7. In the top of the 5th, you start making a little noise. You load the bases for Carrie Boswell, and she comes through with a pinch hit RBI, and you load them again. Caitlin Alderink with a little kind of inside-out swing to knock in 2 more, and it's 4-3 all of a sudden. You did load them up again. Unfortunately, they were stranded, but you did make some noise there in that inning.
Yeah, we had 4-3 runners on second, third, 1 out, and our 3-hole up. So you get your 3 and 4-hole hitters up with in that situation to put, you could have took the lead. And that you got to give your offense credit for competing well. And then, we made another run after that. I thought we competed well at the plate, just not well enough to get the win. And also, we know we can compete much better. So it's a win-win for us when you play these type of series. What we were talking about last week, I knew going into series, win or lose, you're going to come out of it in a better place than where you were, and that's kind of how the series played out.
Bama wins game 1, 5-3. Game 2, we were just talking about it, more chances early on in game 2 with runners at first and second, but again, just couldn't cash in.
Yeah, we're down 2-1, and we misplay a ball off the wall that ends up being an inside the park home run, which you never see in softball. We misplayed it, then we didn't go after it aggressively. We let it roll, and the center fielder had to come over and pick it up, and ended up being 4-1. And then I think they added a 5th run and made it 5-1 final. And we made a couple. We had a couple of runs that we started, but we didn't get finished on offense. And again, it's just a game that we didn't play well and didn't play well enough to win. But can we learn from it? Absolutely. Did we compete? I thought the kids competed pretty well.
You must have read my questions before you came in, because after all that, I was going to ask you about some of the things you learned, and obviously you covered that quite well already. But let's look ahead now to Coastal Carolina. You're going to head to Conway this weekend for a 3-game series with the Chanticleers. Now, they're only 7-11 in conference play, but they have won 7 games in a row, including a sweep of UT Arlington this week. And we were talking before you started, I don't want to say you've had trouble there, but you've had more problems than most. So what are you looking for this weekend?
Yeah, for whatever reason, when we go to Coastal, I think it's a cross-country flight and getting in there on a plane late. But we've not played historically well there since I've been the coach here. And we've lost 2 games that I can recall out there, including game 1 last year. But that's also, you got to give them credit. They've got a good ball club. They're very well coached. And this has kind of been a down year, but now you're starting to see Coach Green, who's an outstanding coach, in my opinion, and you're starting to see her get a hold of this team, and they've won 7 in a row. And they're going to have confidence against us. So it's going to be, they've won 7 in a row. We've lost 2 in a row. The game 1 is going to be important to establish momentum, and I look for it to be a 3-game war.
So your team, the mindset of it right now, I would imagine that, like we talked about, after going to play the number 5 team in the country and knowing just how close things were, maybe a little bit of a chip on their shoulder right now to go back out and kind of prove what they're capable of.
Absolutely. We started the season 15-6, well below our standards, and then even right now with the 2 losses, we're 20-3 over the last 23 games. So it's not like we're a struggling ball club. We're just wide awake, and that's how we'll go into the series. We'll go into the series wide awake and playing to our potential, trying to compete with ourselves to play the best we can play. And if we do that, then we'll be a formidable opponent for them as well.
Gotcha, Coach. As always, we appreciate the time. Best of luck next week, and we'll have highlights and reaction of that series with Coastal Carolina here next week on Inside Louisiana Athletics.
The Courtesy Experience is about exceptional customer service and great deals.
Like a new 2021 GMC Sierra for $11,000 off, or a 2021 GMC Acadia for $25,988. Discover the Courtesy Experience at Courtesy Buick GMC in Lafayette.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, Manger.
Like I would go with the signature strawberry limeade, add in cranberry. It'll give you that kick, like right there in the back.
Sonic Ultimate Drink Stop.
This muscle right here.
Might be a little tart for me.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. The Ragin Cajuns volleyball program is under new leadership. On Monday, Dr. Brian Maggard announcing Christy Gray as the new head coach of the Ragin Cajuns volleyball team. And joining us now for the first time on the show is Coach Christy Gray. First of all, welcome to the show. Welcome to Lafayette. Let's talk about the decision to take this job.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for having me here today. When it first was approached to me, I started looking into the position, and I'm very big on fit. So for me, diving into the Louisiana and Cajun culture, I knew it was something that I wanted to pursue, and then interviewed and talked with Brian, and then here we are today.
How excited are you to start, I guess, this kind of new journey in your coaching career?
I'm very excited. You know, I think I'm all about fit again, and I think this is a great place that I can be successful. I had the opportunity to meet the girls the other night, and they're great. I'm big on family and energy, and they did not hold back any questions, and we talked. We had some good stories that we shared, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know them more and building the future with them.
You talked about the fit. What were some of the other factors that helped you make this decision?
So for me, I'm big on family. That's what I base the culture of my program around. And I've been to Louisiana many a times growing up for family reunions. And so I know how big family is here in the culture. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It's something that's already here.
So you mentioned family a couple times. You also mentioned in your press conference relationships and how you like to be close to your team. Talk about how that translates to success on the court.
Okay, so I do have an open door policy with my kids. They're more than welcome to come into my office and talk whenever they want. And I feel it's important to get to know them on a personal level. And then same for me, them to get to know who I am and how we can work together just, to build a successful team. Because whenever you do have the trust and the loyalty with each other, you'll go to battle for each other. And when you have that, I think you're unstoppable.
So you spent the last 9 years at Odessa College, the last 5 as the head coach. You won 125 matches in those 5 seasons, 77% winning percentage. So invested so much into that program. I guess it was kind of bittersweet to leave there and come here.
It is. It's never hard to leave, especially when you have such a great group of girls. And you've built a program and you have the support from the fan base and everybody within the department. But for me, with the resources that I had, I felt like it was time for me to make the next move. And so, timing's everything for me, and this job became available, and here we are.
Some big shoes to fill. Coach Heather Mercedes-Fontenot here for 13 years, the winningest coach in program history. So talk about how you considered that when taking this job. I guess, with the recent success that the program has had, you kind of want to take that and run with it.
Oh, absolutely. So she did a phenomenal job here, and hats off to her for being the winningest coach and doing everything that she did. So I do have big shoes to fill, and it makes me excited. I know that there's a great base to go off of. And they went 17-7 last year and, second in the West. So I think we're at a great starting point. And, the coach that I am, I'm a go-getter. I'm very high energy and I like to win. So I just, from here, go get the right high-level athletes that we need to be successful and be at the top of the conference.
So you're inheriting a program that lost a considerable amount of talent, but you do have some experienced veterans coming back and some very promising up-and-comers. So that's got to have you excited about the future of the program too.
Absolutely. So we're actually meeting this afternoon. And one of the things that I like to sit down with them, and I talked about it some in my press conference yesterday, is I like to sit down and dive into the 3 things that we want to stand for, 2 or 3 things that we want to stand for as a team, and to set goals, because I do believe that we have a really good group and we do have some good leadership and good athletes. I need to go find 4 more kids at this point. And meeting with former player, hopefully a returner, Avery Bro, at this afternoon as well. So we'll see. I'm excited for the future.
So you mentioned in our sit down and in the press conference, your somewhat, I guess, ties to Louisiana.
Yes.
What are those ties? And tell me what you think about our great state.
So I actually, and hopefully people don't get upset with this because it's not Lafayette, but I spent a lot of time in Baton Rouge and Lake Charles growing up. And I mean, I love the food and the family and the music and everything here. So I'm excited to be back on a permanent scale.
All right, well, as we wrap things up, let's get off the court somewhat. Tell us about your crawfish peeling skills. If you had a 1 to 10, 10 being the best, where do you sit?
On peeling crawfish, I don't think that I'm a professional, but I do love crawfish and I do suck the heads. So.
Okay. And, before we got started, we were talking about how many people have already come to you and told you about where you need to eat and how you're going to put a little weight on around here.
Gosh.
Looking forward to that?
Yeah, yes and no. So I think that everybody so far has told me that I'm going to gain about 20 pounds, which being 5'3" on a good day, that doesn't sit well with me, and that I should have a good workout plan in place. So I'm already planning on working out and trying not to eat as much as everybody keeps forcing me to.
Well, thank you very much for taking time out of what's been, I guess, kind of a whirlwind couple of days, going from place to place, meeting a lot of people. We wish you the best of luck. We look forward to having you back in the fall. And that is Christy Gray, the new head volleyball coach.
All you got to do is dish a drink, and your taste buds.
Sounds like happiness. So many feels. All the feels.
You do the shimmy when it meets expectations, and the head nod is I'm perfectly satisfied.
Sonic Ultimate Drink Stop.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
I feel like I would go with the signature strawberry limeade. Add in cranberry. It'll give you that kick, like right there in the back.
Sonic Ultimate Drink Stop.
This muscle right here.
Might be a little tart for me.
You are UL Lafayette's #1 priority. That's why we're following guidelines set by national and local health experts to protect you during the COVID-19 pandemic. The university is reorganizing rooms and spaces to reinforce social distancing, sanitizing campus buildings, and mandating that everyone wears protective equipment. But don't take our word for it. Take a look for yourself at some of the many safety measures we're implementing, and you'll see that our priority is you.
The Courtesy Experience is about exceptional customer service and great deals.
Like a 2021 Buick Enclave for $10,000 off, or a 2021 Buick GX for only $18,988. Discover the Courtesy Experience at Courtesy Buick GMC in Lafayette.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Inside Louisiana Athletics. Be sure to catch us next week for more Louisiana Ragin Cajuns coverage. Go Cajuns.